Hey yo everyone, welcome. Ahmad is here, and right now we're on another video on the AK expenses tracker regarding deleting an attachment. So we have prepared the logic, we have written the code to remove from the blob, which is existing in the blob service. In here we have a function called delete file async, as you can see, and we have already the remove functionality in the data layer that's communicating with the cosmosdb. So here we have delete async. So all we have to do is just trigger this function to run every 6 hours and remove all the attachments that have not been used in the previous 6 hours. So for example, if a user uploads an attachment at 9 a.m., for example, and he uploads like 3 attachments, he used only 2, and he removed 1, he doesn't want to use it. So this one will stay remaining in this table. So if the function runs at 12, it will not remove this one because like it's 3 hours ago and we still need it. The user may use it, maybe he closed the app or something like that. But if it runs at like 4 p.m., that means it's 7 hours ago, it will be removed. It's 6 hours or more since the function runs. So what we need to do is to create a new Azure Functions in the server.functions project, and this time it will be run by like a timer trigger. So we will learn about a new thing on those Azure Functions, because so far we have used all our functions are triggered using HTTP request, but right now we will use the timer trigger. So a new Azure function, we'll call it delete unused attachments, add, and from in here you need to choose timer trigger. So when you pick timer trigger, you will notice something very interesting here. This one is an expression. It's called the Cron expression, and this is the one that you can use to basically define like the recurrence of your function, like when it will run. Basically, this expression is extremely flexible, and you can use it to define, like you can run it every 1 minute, every 5 minutes, the first hour of every day, the first hour of every month, the first hour, the first Sunday. Like it's extremely flexible despite that this shape, but you can learn more about it, or even you can generate this one. So basically this represents the seconds, the minutes, the hours, the days, the day of the week, and I think this one represents the month. I'm not sure of it because I haven't used the last one. I've just used the hours and the minutes. So this one, for example, the default one says like at the very second, this one means every minute, and this one means like every 5 minutes. Sorry, this expression means every 5 minutes. If you type 5, so that means it will run on the minute 5 of every hour. But if you type like star, so run every 5 minutes from every hour. And if you say that 1, so that means it will run only on the first hour, every 5 minutes on the very first hour, and so on. So to learn more about that and to reduce the headache, basically most of the time, like your function will run in a flexible time, you know, like you want to run it, for example, to send an emails, as you are going to do that later. So you run it maybe like in the weekend. So you are just going to say like run this on Sunday, or run this at the end of the week, like Friday evening. So it's not something difficult. You can just say here, like every minute, minutes on the 8 hour from like the day 6, which is Friday, or sorry, 5 Friday, because the counting starts Monday first, Tuesday until, so that means every Friday. So it is basically like that. It's not complicated, but there is some for complicated scenarios. First of all, this is a blog post that tells you all its secrets. I liked it a lot, and I've used it. It's like kind of cheat sheet, as he described it in here, so you can learn everything about it. Oh, interesting. Yeah, day, month, and day of the week. That's good. So second, minute, day of the week, and you can say in here defines a trigger that runs every time, examples, and those are all the examples, like every 5 minutes, every hour. Long set of examples that you can use to master this, which is good. But here we have also another utility that basically you can use to generate a very complicated cron expressions. Like you can generate very complicated one. You can just define like I need it to run, specify a second, like the second 10, for example, only the second 10 of like this hour and this hour for June August of the year 2027. So basically it will give you something in here. So I haven't used this one yet, but also you can here find another cheat sheet. So you can find those links in the description box, but you have to learn to know that this cron expressions is very flexible, very great. So we need to run it every 6 hours. So we are going to say in here like that. That means it will run every, like that. How many stars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I missed the star somewhere. Did I did it like that? Yeah. Okay, let's try to do it like that. Go back to the beginning. Okay, great. This is the default it have. So run like this. So that means it will run every 6 hours. But of course, as I've said, this value is up to you. And or oh, sorry, I shouldn't do like that, because for our testing purposes we need it to run every minute, just to see how it runs, and then before we publish to production or we finish, we adjust it to run like that. So if we hit add, so our function will run every minute, and you can see this is a timer trigger, and your cron expression is available here. So just change it from here, it will work. So let's run our Azure Functions project right now, just to see how this one will be triggered. So basically every minute we are going to see the result. So okay, so as you can see, our function has been executed, and right now it run at 2:08 a.m. So it will run again at 2:09. So I'll skip the video, couple seconds. Here we go. It became 2:09 and it's run again, and that's perfect. So it's as easy as that. Cool. So in here, let me inject some stuff. Private, read only, storage service. Of course, we need the storage service like that, and we need private, read only, attachments, repo, like that. Cool. And let's generate a constructor with those. I would like to put those into each other like this. Cool. So what we need to do first is to retrieve all the in here. Like, let's keep this one. Let's change this. And delete and used attachments triggered at. Cool. So retrieve the files to be deleted. Var files equals await repo dot get unused attachments async. So we need to pass the number of hours. It's 6 hours. That's great. So cool. So right now I have retrieved them. Here I need to make sure. Let's change attachments to call them files. Attachments. Sorry, change this file to make it attachments. Of course, we need to mark this as task instead of void, because it's asynchronous. Great. So let's do a check. Attachments dot any else. Okay, let me click go to implementation. Just want to see. Okay, so it always returns something. It will never return null. That's good. So if it returns if any, do the remove here. If not, just log information, no attachments to be deleted found. Let's call it have been found. Great. So in here, let's log an information. So, and let's count them in here. Attachments.count. Attachments be deleted. Great. So let's make a for each of the attachments. Okay, that's something like not very recommended to do in .NET, which is like removing within a for each. But in this case, we need to do it because right now we didn't. Azure Cosmos DB, you cannot make a bulk delete directly through the attachments. Basically, to do that, you need to create store the procedure, and we are going to do that for the wall later for the for the what we call them, for the transactions. So yeah, because that will require some JavaScript. This is like a little bit bad thing about Cosmos DB, but developing store the procedures will be like interesting. So for now, and those will usually not going to be like a long number of attachments, because yeah, we'll see. So the first thing we need to do is to remove the file. We need to remove the file before we remove it from the database. Because if we remove it from the database and then the process of deleting the file from blob storage fails for some reason, so we will remove the file from the Cosmos DB, but it will stay in the blob as an orphan file. We don't know like for which or who uploaded that. So basically, first we remove it from the storage, await storage service .delete file async, and it takes a file path. Good. What is the file path? It is just basically the item, which is the attachment .url. Basically, we just need the file name. So we will bring path .get file name. Okay, let's add system.io. Great. Why we don't need the full URL? Because this delete file async will work against the container. So basically, if I open the Azure storage in here, those attachments, here I have 5 attachments in the blob. Of course, this is my emulator. So I have 5 attachments, all within this container. So this is the only part I need, the file name. So from the full URL, I just need the file name to perform this operation. And if this happens successfully, let me put that within a try catch. After we learn about sort the procedures, we'll come back to this code and optimize it to be like in a better shape. So log error happened, deleting the file, and we'll pass the exception data in here. Great. So if it gets deleted successfully, let's delete it from the database. Attachments repo .delete async, and the ID item uploaded by user ID, which is the partitioning key. This is why, because the delete process, let's go and remind ourselves with what it does. It takes uploaded by user ID, and the ID, because this one the partition key, this one the ID. We have implemented that in the previous session. If you are wondering for more details or to get more explanations, you can proceed for the previous one. This is it all, basically as simple as this. We don't need anything else. At the end, we just log that and say log information. All attachments have been deleted successfully. Or no, that's something bad, because in here, let's start by the count integer. Deleted count equals 0, and whenever anyone gets deleted count equals plus, because it could fail in here, error in deleting the file. And let's pass in here the name of the file, so we know file dot path dot get file name item dot url. So in here we have this, or you can have it like file name. To not repeat that too many times, call the same method. Those little tiny things makes big difference in your big code base. Okay, if we do things like that, that's cool. So in here, let's put this outside the try. That's great. And in here, I'll type like deleted count out of attachments dot count have been deleted successfully. That's great. So right now, if I should run the function, what the function will do is basically, if I go back to our cosmosdb emulator, we have developed this, or we have written this query 2 sessions ago, and if I click execute, it will bring me all the attachments that have been uploaded 6 hours ago and they are not deleted. Basically, they will either be deleted this way, or when we will use them later on in the transaction will delete this and it will copy it basically to the transactions container. So this one will be removed from in here. So basically, it's used. But if it stays in here for more than 6 hours, this means this needs to be deleted from in here and the blob. So we have 5 right now. And if I go to blob, I actually here have 5. So if the function runs right now, it should remove all of them. So let's see if this actually works correctly. I'll put a breakpoint. Now we'll run this. Great. So let's see the execution of the query. Here we go. Set F11. This is our query. That's good. Good. Fetch the container. Get the iterator. Read async. Hopefully no errors. Let's see the result. Oh, we got the result as none. Sorry. The attachment is none. That's great. Let's continue the execution. Result.any. Of course, there should be any. Yeah, we got 5. How many we have? Yeah, we have 5. Okay, add them to the list. Cancellation token, it's null. Why it's null? Because we have said if there is more than 1000 items, or you can basically pass in the options here, what is the total number of items in the pages you will have. So the iterator will retrieve to you. If there is many, this one will not be null and it will refer to the next set of items to be retrieved. So we did it in a while loop. Usually this will not happen, but in code, you don't need to trust anything. So retrieve that. Here we go. We get the 5 attachments. Log information. We should see that in the console. Correct. 5 attachments have been found to be deleted. Cool. And let's iterate over them. Get the file name. Set the file name. Nice. Then try to delete that file. So let's see. Get the container. Oh, already we can pass the full path in here because this function is already taking the file name. Okay, that's good. It's the URL, delete. Oh, okay, lovely. So if I go to here, hit refresh, there are only 4. That's good, we have done it. And let's remove it from the database. So ID is not null, loaded by user ID is not null. Get the container and execute this. Very, very cool. So we have done, we have walked through it. Right now, deleted count, very good. So if I go, 5 attachments, here I have 4, and here right now if I call this, I should see only 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's good, it works. So right now I'll remove the breakpoint, and I will let it to continue on its own. Okay. Yeah, it will run again because it's every minute. So we set a breakpoint. So it was just waiting us to finish the breakpoints to run again. But right now, if it runs, it should tell us no attachments found. So let me continue. And it says no attachments to be deleted. That's cool. This is it. Actually, that easy, right? Let's just make this to run every 6 hours as it's supposed to be. So this is it all. And by now, you should learn how to delete from cosmosdb. You should learn how to query cosmosdb, writing some queries and functions. You should learn how to upload, how to use some AI, how to upload attachments to blob storage, and remove from them, doing some updates. Same for the cosmosdb, how to put things together, using HTTP trigger for Azure Functions, using timer trigger, deal with Cron expressions. So far we have achieved like bunch of good stuff. The next stuff in the next section is going to be dealing with the transactions, which is the core of our full project. They will be interesting. They will be like a little bit more challenging than this, but the main concepts you should have get them, and you should have like apply those in your own apps if you are really interested into building a serverless environment and building using cosmosdb. So basically, I hope like so far you have got a good amount of knowledge. And yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support. And you can also join our Discord server where we have some good discussions. We have some great members in there that they ask good questions and they have good answers, good ideas to share. So you are always most welcome to join. You can you can find the link in the description box below. So the invitation is open for everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.